Hello, good evening and welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this edition, Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam announces raft of measures as he pledges to complete stalled projects in the Ashanti region and also visit the ports to stop financial leakages.
Next 1 week, I will join you to visit some of the ports, the Tema Port, the Kutuka International Airport, and I will go with you as well to the areas, Elobo, Aflao, so that I can understand at first hand what your staff, your officers are going through.
But how feasible is this move? We are live with a tax consultant, plus get to hear from the freight forwarders. Also in this bulletin, Ghana Investment Promotion Center complains of difficulties financing its operations as it records low foreign direct investment due to current economic conditions.
On a recurrent basis, we manage to take over our liabilities. But if you look at it in terms of the account itself, you see.
Plus 28 developing economies, including Ghana, remain stuck in a debt trap with no hope of escape anytime soon. We'll hear from the World Bank. We have details of these and many others arranged for you. Please stay. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojobaka. Let's begin now. And Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam has hinted of visiting some ports across the country soon to weed out corrupt activities. This comes after several reports of corrupt activities by some port officials. Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam indicated that he has personally confirmed some of these activities and willing to work to reduce the menace.
Commissioner General, as you may be aware, the perception of corruption is very deep, but also complaints about the unfriendly nature of our tax collection system. I am happy to note that recently you had a conference on how friendly tax collection could be and the mechanisms you want to put in place so that we give tax collection a human face. People have complained of multiple audits. People have complained of harassment. I know that when people don't want to pay taxes, they can give all the excuses and fine. But if that is something to go by, it is telling us that we can improve on the interaction between us and our taxpayers. We can introduce systems that will make tax collection friendly. In some other jurisdiction, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes for somebody to file the tax returns. We should be able to do this so that we will motivate and incentivize taxpayers, knowing that they are not going to spend so much time. You know, some have complained that tax collectors come and sit in their offices days for days and they are not able to work. I think that this faceless system we so talked about can help all of us, you know, but this requires so much dedication to implement it. Sometimes you have to be bold to do what people think you cannot do. And I know that you can do it. You've done it before, but you can do better. So I personally want to support you in the field, you know, and therefore, over the next 1 week, I will join you to visit some of the ports, the Tema Port, the Kutuka International Airport, and I will go with you as well to the border areas, Elobo, Aflao, so that I can understand at first hand what your staff, your officers are going through and what support they need for us to provide to them so that they can be more efficient, they can be more dedicated, you know, so that they can die a little more for our country. And so, Commissioner General, we are here to support you and your team because we know that when Ghana is good, it's good for all of us. If it is bad, obviously, nobody will have any space to live comfortably in this country.
He has, in the meantime, challenged the Ghana Revenue Authority to be proactive in addressing any gaps in line with this revenue generation. Here is more.
Finance Minister Dr. Amin Adam reiterated the need to urgently push for a roadmap for the Ghana Revenue Authority to rake in more revenue to meet the pressing needs of the economy. According to him, this is key to addressing some economic challenges, including the completion of some critical stalled infrastructures.
But if we have a roadmap that is clearly defined and we all understand our roles and what we all have to do to contribute to achieving the target for 2024, I believe we will do better. So we need urgently to agree on the roadmap to enable us to exceed the revenue target and meet the pressing needs of our country, including completing critical infrastructure, including your own headquarters infrastructure. Achieving and exceeding the target is also critical to the success of the IMF Extended Credit Facility Program. We cannot afford to miss our commitments under the program because the consequences will not be good for our country.
Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, expressed optimism of his outfit to exceed its targets.
We did 49, so at least it means that next year we should do at least 50 if we want to keep on the trend that we have set. And therefore, all the initiatives that you talk about and all the areas that you have hinted, we are committed to see how we can continue to plug the holes and the leakages, and we are committed to also to see how we can fast track, as you have just said, as far as the digitalization is concerned. We've done a lot, and we still believe that, as you've said, there's a lot more that can be done. We have engaged with like the DVLA, SNAIT. We do receive the data as we speak now. And then sometimes people are a bit concerned when they see us coming because they are wondering how do you know that he now owns a new car? Yes. It's all because these ones are working for us.
The Finance Minister called on the GRA to continue collaborating to achieve operational efficiency. James Echen's report for Joy Business.
All right, so let's interrogate this move by the Finance Minister, which of course he intends to go to the ports and basically, flash out corrupt activities. Joining us via Zoom is tax consultant Francis Timoboy. Thanks so much, Francis, for your time here on Business Live. And first of all, what impression do you get when the new Finance Minister engages Commissioner General and, of course, its commissioners and talks about improving revenue collection?
That the GRA falls directly under the Ministry of Finance. And so for me, his visit is what is expected of every good leader. It shows commitment, and visiting the top hierarchy of GRA tells the GRA that they have a leader who is prepared to support them. I mean, he's mentioned some challenges that the GRA is facing, and he has promised his support. Looking at the issues that he raised, certainly GRA needs support to be able to achieve the targets because of the IMF conditionalities. And I think that is the best thing that he has ever done. And we believe that all the support that he has promised the GRA to support, he will be able to carry them out so that the GRA can perform their work. We know they are doing well, but they still need to do more.
And Francis, you heard him talk about improving revenue mobilization. He points out that he will start visiting the ports to check and improve revenue collection. Do you get the impression that the digital systems have really not blocked all the leakages at the various ports? And of course, will his visit change anything?
So first of all, his visit may not directly change things as we are seeing. I mean, the visit there will not necessarily let the people stop, the corruption. I believe that something more needs to be done. And hopefully the medium tax revenue strategy that has been put together by the ministry will, address some of the challenges. Look, people find ways to avoid paying the taxes because of some reason. And that's what we need to address. The taxes at the ports are there are too many. And so importers will always find ways out. And if they find ways out and they get the support of the officials, they will always find, pay some money more and then leave. You remember the Kumasi traders were embarking on a demonstration because anytime they are cutting their goods from Temako to Kumasi, GRA continued to monitor and police them because of the fear of smuggling. So people smuggle, there's under declaration of, invoicing at the port. And if they are able to get people who will be able to help them misclassify the items so that they pay lower taxes, they will do that. So I think that his visit is good, but more needs to be done. If you go there and the people do not engage in corruption, you will come back to your office. They may go back to what they are doing originally if nothing is done. So I think that, yes, we encourage him to do that, but we expect more to be done to, prevent the corruption and the misclassification and then the evasion of taxes that we are seeing at the port.
Now, I don't know what his presence at the port will signal to basically freight forwarders and operators within the enclave. Now, we've seen some before. During the late President Atta Mills's time, he visited the ports. What sort of signal do you think this would have on the operations at the ports?
So first of all, it will send a signal that maybe we have a new leader who is coming to put in some measures to prevent the leakages. So it's good that he goes there. But like I said, if he goes there and you just send the signal and nothing is done afterwards, at the end of the day, you haven't done anything. So we expect that all the medium-term strategies that has been put in the strategy document, which includes, for example, consolidating some of the tariffs at the ports. Currently, you have over 20 or 21 tariff lines, and people feel that importing one item will cost me so much, and therefore if I have a way to smuggle it or avoid it, I should do. And even if I get the assistance of an officer to do that, I will engage in. Something needs to be done. We should consolidate them, and again, we should also align our taxes with the ECOWAS region. Some of them do not have this huge taxes that we pay. So yes, he's sending a good signal, but when we come back home or when he gets back to his office, we have to make sure that not just sending the signal, something needs to be done to prevent the leakages.
And pretty soon we'll get to hear from the freight forwarders, but we've seen traders complain over the period, especially in the informal economy, having issues with the collection of VAT. What should be the approach of Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, you would say?
I think he needs to do more of engagement. And again, engagement is key. We have seen the GRA with the Abosokai traders, fighting because they feel that having your officers in my office is not the best. It's intimidating. I believe that when people have a hand in a policy where they themselves formulated, they will rather comply. So whilst engaging, we need to embark on education, bring out the issues, let the people understand that these are the laws that needs to be complied with. Let's not assume that everybody knows the tax obligations. We have to also do engagement. And I'm happy that technology needs to be, enhanced. The EVAT system is a fantastic tool that will prevent leakages in the VAT system. How do we roll it out? And so he has promised that he's going to support the GRA. That should happen so that GRA can also, collect the taxes in a very friendly manner. These are laws that have been passed. And so GRA need not to be, more brutal against taxpayers. He should engage more with the Trader Association, and I believe that if he gets that one, we get many people comply.
Francis Timobo, we are indeed grateful for your time here on Business Live, tax consultant speaking to us there. All right, so let's get to hear from the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders as well. This President Stephen Ajukache joins me via phone. here on Business Live. Thanks so much, Stephen, for your time. Now, what do you make of the Finance Minister's decision to visit the port soon to weed out corrupt activities, as he puts it?
Good evening, Miles, for giving us this opportunity. We are very grateful and thank you too. Also, we are very happy that the minister is definitely going to come here. There's a lot of issues which I'm sure some of them are in live, written a lot of letters on his table. I'm sure he's seen some of them before he'll be coming here. He's coming to the port. You come to see for the first time what is going on here. We have a lot of other agencies like the Standard Authority, the Food and Drugs Authority, EPA, Environmental Agency. They are all here milking the traders and all importers who bring goods into this country.
So,
hello?
Yeah, if you could speak up for me and speed up your talk for me.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Sure. So, in the event of weeding those corruptions in the port, definitely taxes are being collected by agents on behalf of government. And we comply, majority of our people comply with the tax rates and all that matters to get revenues for government. So, unless maybe valuations are not done well, but apart from when valuations are done well, all taxes are being collected on behalf of government by we freight forwarders.
All right, Stephen.
What he has to address is like we've complained about these COVID levies which are still being collected. When the WHO announced end of COVID, we thought government was going to just take it off. But they just cut quiet and they are just picking up, collecting those taxes. And it's a lot of money, 1%.
All right, Stephen, so the bottom line now is that government wants to show up revenue, for which reason is considering coming to the port to, address some of the challenges, the linkages we are seeing at the ports. How cooperative would you be to support the minister in that quest?
Give freight forwarders, as we all know, we cooperate with government to collect taxes. And every time when GRA announces that they've gotten their target or even exceeded their target, I think they should even give an applause to us and recommend us for making sure that we've taken all those taxes on behalf. But we are never recommended of being the main key people making sure that government or GRA has exceeded their taxes. So we are number one tax. We pay the taxes for government. We collect on behalf of our clients and give to government. So if he comes, all the bottlenecks maybe he might come to see you. I think he has to address them so that government can still be making money to run this economy.
All right, so you cooperate with him, right?
Definitely, we definitely cooperate with him. We don't have anything we don't have any banter with him at all.
That's
and
fine.
it's a good point. It's a good time he's coming so that you have time to listen to the issues in the port.
All right.
So that when he goes back to his table, there will be some few changes in whatever policies they want to bring up again.
Stephen Najokache, we are indeed grateful for your time, President of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, speaking to us there. You're still watching Business Live. There'll be more after this break. Please stay. Welcome back to Business Live. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, has revealed that it has been recording a deficit in its operations for the last 2 years. The center is expected to attract investors for the country, but has in recent times struggled to bring in the needed investors due to the current economic condition. According to the Chief Executive Officer of the GIPC, Yofi Grant, the center's sole reliance on internally generated fund makes it difficult to raise the needed revenue to support its operations. Mr. Grant said this when he appeared before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament earlier today.
On a recurrent basis, we manage to take over our liabilities. But if you look at it in terms of the accounts itself, you see a deficit. Now, what happened in those 2 years is that deficit was funded by surpluses we had incurred over the previous years when we were able to rake in quite a significant amount of IGF. Now, under the current market conditions where investments have become very competitive and we have also instituted very strong fiscal rules in the country, it gets very difficult to derive the revenue to run the institution. So we have actually done a paper to Ministry of Finance with the help of the World Bank and other agencies who have supported us to change the funding structure of GIPC in accordance with global standards. And so the real solution is to look at how GIPC, as the state's investment promotion agency and the reception to the country, is financed. And I propose that it's an anomaly to fund it from IGF, because at IGF we're going to see decreases along the line. For this year, we will be able to cover our operations because we are expecting, we have certain receivables that take us, but it's becoming more like hand to mouth.
World Bank has disclosed that 28 developing economies, including Ghana, with the weakest credit ratings, remain stuck in a debt trap with no hope of escape anytime soon. According to the Bretton Woods institution, the average debt to the size of the economy was nearly 75% at the end of 2023, which is 20 points greater than the typical developing economy. More in this report.
The 28 developing countries account for a quarter of all developing economies, with credit ratings on 16% of the global population. However, their collective economic activity constitutes a mere 5% of global output, which makes it easy for the rest of the world to ignore their predicament. Their debt crisis, as a result, is silent, and it could intensify. Ghana, which is one of these countries, remains in debt distress. Secondly, the debt sustainability analysis by the World Bank and International Monetary Fund shows that the debt is unsustainable. However, with the existence of the IMF program, there are expectations that Ghana's debt sustainability will change to become sustainable by 2026.
Meanwhile, the Finance Committee of Parliament has finally approved the $300 million World Bank facility to support the 2024 budget. George Yafe reports.
The development should now pave the way for the full House of Parliament to consider the facility and possibly approve the deal. This would then allow the Bank of Ghana to transfer the $300 million to Government of Ghana's accounts at the Bank of Ghana. The Finance Ministry can then go ahead and draw down the cedi equivalent of the dollar facility. For the Bank of Ghana, it's going to come as a big relief because of its impact on its international reserves. This is because it will be in a better position to support the Ghana cedi at a time that the local currency is under some pressure. But for the central bank, it was quick to add that the limited support for the market is more of a plan to be strategic with its reserves rather than the fact that it is facing some supply challenges. The World Bank approved some $300 million last month to support Ghana's economy as part of the broader IMF program. However, disbursements have delayed due to government's inability to secure Parliament's approval for the facility to aid in the transfer of the funds from Washington, D.C. to Government of Ghana's account at the Bank of Ghana here in Accra.
Now, the Ghana cedi has lost 3.56% to the dollar in the retail market since the beginning of this year. Though the depreciation pressures have eased and liquidity has also improved, the local currency still lost 0.40% in the value week on week to the American greenback last week. Here's more. The local currency lost ground last week despite improved market liquidity. This came on the back of corporate demand and stronger than expected January 2024 inflation. After depreciating in the first two trading sessions, the Bank of Ghana's $15 million spot market provision and the $20 million auctioned to the bulk oil distribution companies helped hold the cedi steady at 12 cedis 58 pesos to the dollar until the week's close. But the cedi lost 0.40% to the dollar in the retail market. The U.S. January 2024 inflation moderated to 3.1% from 3.4% in December 2023. Analysts anticipate this may renew market uncertainties and strengthen the dollar as the market anticipates the Fed to hold the policy rate in the next meeting. They also believe this may introduce depreciation pressures on emerging market currencies, including the cedi, in the near term. And that's all in this package by way of Business Life. I am Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com. There you go. Great stories on that portal. See you same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.